Hey, Tubers Raven here.
Starfire.
And tonight we're talking about Black Lightning.
Season 2, episode 15. The Book of Apocalypse, chapter 1, The Alpha.
Yes. What? Okay. Alpha? What? Why? I saw no alpha. I'm sorry.
Maybe it was like the new people that they're training from the pods. Maybe it's Lala. I don't know. Maybe
It would not be Lala.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who they're considering the alpha in this situation. Right. Anyway, I thought the episode was good.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was pretty into it. Do you have anything bad to say about Jefferson?
Because
I think that he was actually pretty good in this episode.
I think he's living in an ideal world.
Yeah.
Where when his daughters say that they... I mean... okay. He was like... We have to agree on these 3 rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
So... I mean, sure, you know... But... He didn't make... All he did was say, fine. I'm sorry, but, if they're promising something, then say the words, I promise.
Yeah, say, I promise, or I understand, or yes, or something like that. Because fine just means that you're just ending it. You just don't want to hear about it anymore. You don't want to talk about it, so you're saying fine. Like, I'll do it, but I don't have to like it or I don't have to agree to it necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Jen didn't agree to it.
Yeah.
And she got herself and went out there, and then now she's in the situation that she's in. Yeah. So, yeah.
It is a cool suit, though.
It is. I mean...
The eyeglasses were weird.
They were, yeah.
But the rest of it looked good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that he needs to... I mean, he's already pretty firm, but I think he just he needs to just make sure that they are going to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Nyssa is going to get defensive and say, you know, I'm a grown-ass woman, like, whatever. And, you know, he, in the past, hasn't, you know, necessarily been the best at things and hasn't always been an example. But I think in this case, at least with the rules, he's doing it out of, you know, because he cares and he loves them. Yeah. And he wants to make sure that everybody's safe and everybody's okay. You know, because even as much as we get irritated with Jefferson, they still are like a family unit and they're still a team. And that's what I think like is the heart of the show in a way, is like the Pierce family. And so, yeah, they're going to have disagreements and they're not going to always get along, of course. But, you know, at the end of the day, they're a family and they're always going to be there for each other and protect each other and make sure that they're safe. So, you know, while I don't necessarily agree with how he went about some of the things, I think that the rules were necessary. Yes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, completely. I do think that there's something to be said about if you're gonna make the girls promise something, make them promise it. Because they technically did not give their word.
No, they didn't.
So, I mean, they're not, like, it didn't make them liars. They're not breaking their word because they never gave it. So,
I think Nyssa's at least going to be more likely to keep, you know, the majority of them. I think Jen's the one who's just out for revenge.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I also liked what he was saying, you know, when him and Jen were eating, like, yeah, she wasn't necessarily paying attention and, you know, was kind of just like, yeah, I understand, or okay, or whatever. But like, you know, those things are very old. And he's like, that code of Hammurabi, like, it limits vengeance. It doesn't justify it. And I think that was like a really kind of, you know, symbolic thing that he said, because, you know, it's true. Like, yeah, an eye for an eye, but, you know, like, you can't just be somebody, like he was saying, you can't control all of that stuff. You can't go out and be like a god and control who lives and who dies and those things, because that's just going to lead you to a dark place.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I think Jen understands that, but I don't think that she's like, you know, she's still going to go do what she's going to do, because she has it in her head that Tobias needs to go.
Yeah.
And she's not going to stop at anything to make sure, she's going to stop at nothing to make sure that happens. So, you know, in her mind, that is her goal. That is her focus.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what rules he makes. She's out for vengeance on him, and she's going to make sure that happens.
Yeah. And as far as that code goes, I'm pretty sure even back then, like, the whole eye for an eye thing, like, a lot of it went through official channels.
Yeah.
Like, if someone did this to you, then, like, the leading body found out, or the person, and they oversaw the return of punishment.
Yeah.
Like,
because punishment was such a public thing in those days, like, it's understandable, like you're saying, that those types of things would go through leaders or other, you know, other people that are leading that government, because, you know, right. So, yeah.
So, I mean, even if Jen wanted to do the whole eye for an eye thing, she'd have to get the okay from the government.
And like he said, you know, that's as old as the freaking, like, Bible itself, or older. You know, it's that in the Code of Hammurabi, which is freaking ancient. Like, I learned about that in my ancient med class. You know, it's like, it was literally like the first set of laws that we had. Like, with like Mesopotamia, it was like the oldest and first. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like a lot of things, especially like in today's world, where we take things that we like from certain books and we turn them around to suit our situation.
Right.
And that's not how things were meant to be.
Yeah.
So, but, and that seems to be what she's trying to do.
What Jen is trying to, yeah.
But, I mean, if she went Bible first. She said, Bible says eye for an eye. Bible also says to forgive them 7 times 70, or 7 times 77, or whatever the hell.
Well, what did he say? Because he said something first about the good book. What did he say? And then she said, it also says an eye for an eye.
I think he said something about, like, forgiveness or something. But then she's like, it also says an eye for an eye. But, like, I mean, it also says to forgive a person. Yeah. No, he said that judgment is not ours.
Yeah, and it's not.
No. And so...
Because his whole thing was that we can't be people, like, they can't be people, or, like, because they have powers, they can't be people that are controlling and determining who lives and who dies.
Yeah, they're not judge, jury, and execution.
Yeah, they're not gods, they're not, you know, what you just said, like... They just have to do what they have to do. And he's like, you know, I don't know why God gave me this, but, you know, I'm, like, trying to do my best with what I have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, he made a really good point. And, you know, people are going to take things from books, like you said, and interpret it the way that they see fit for whatever situation they're doing.
Yeah.
And whether that is okay or not, I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen because a lot of things are how everybody interprets it. And so if they interpret it a certain way, then they're going to use that in that way and how they relate to it. And so I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's usually what happens with that kind of stuff. So.
But yeah, like, it just, I mean, for everything that, like, for every other thing, there's always the answer.
Yeah.
Like, he said, it's not ours to judge. Well, eye for an eye. I'm sorry. He also says to forgive 77 times 77, or whatever, bunches of sevens.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Basically saying always forgive.
Yes, I mean, you know, yeah, exactly.
Unless you're someone that, you know, tallies them and then...
Forgiveness is a big part of, you know...
The book.
And, you know, while we feel the need a lot of times to take vengeance upon ourselves because, you know, we've been hurt.
Ourselves, not upon ourselves.
Yeah, for ourselves, sorry. Because of what's happened or losing somebody, you know. I mean, that happens all the time. People want vengeance. People want justice, you know, and yeah, but you can't necessarily control that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for you to do.
Yeah. So, but I really like Lynn being there for Wendy.
Yeah.
Wendy. Her power is wind. So,
like, whenever, I don't know, just, it always bothers me when people, like, try to, you know, experiment or do what they're going to do on somebody who has those types of abilities, especially when they're young, because it's like, you can't, I don't know, I don't like when they're trying to force them to do that. They should be able to have a life and, you know, have the life that they want instead of somebody being like, oh, you have these powers. Let's just make you into a soldier and we'll control you and make you do whatever we want you to do. And that's going to be your life. And if you get killed, sorry, you know.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. So that type of stuff just pisses me off. Yeah. So I'm glad that Lynn stood her ground and, you know, to Agent Odell, I know his name now. Sorry, I'm not going to call him that other thing anymore. But yeah, like, I mean, he still can't be trusted, of course.
Yeah, completely.
But yeah, I mean, Lynn is just trying to help them. Yeah. She's trying to make it so that, yeah, they have their abilities, and she's not trying to take that away from them. She's just trying to make it as normal for them as possible.
Right.
Like, make them be able to still have a normal life and be out in society without feeling like they're outcasts and without feeling like they don't have anybody that, you know, believes in them or supports them. And, you know, because that's how the whole thing with Jen was going.
Right.
And that's part of probably why she wants Jen to talk to her, because she knows firsthand what that's like. I mean, she wasn't a pod child, but she knows the situation of having to be confined in her house because they're afraid to let her outside into the world because she has really strong abilities.
Yeah, but Wendy also doesn't want to go outside.
Yeah. And I mean, that's understandable because she's been frozen, or not frozen, but she's been in a pod for 30 years. So,
have you seen the preview for the second one?
I showed it to you.
Right. Well, it plays in front of Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've shown it to you. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, she has not been awake for 30 years. So the life that she knows is not what it was.
Right. She can't, like she said, she can't even remember what she wanted to be.
Yeah. And I mean, she's not even old enough for, you know, she's not even older than 30. She's young. Like, you know, so.
No, they've been in the pods for
30 years, but I mean, she's like a teenager, so the time frame is weird, but.
Dude, if you think about it, she's older than Lynn.
Yeah, she's just been cryogenically frozen or whatever you want to call it for that long, so she's young. she looks young, but she's actually old.
Yeah.
Not old, but older.
Right? Like,
it's like the movie Forever Young, for anybody that has seen that. It's got Mel Gibson in it. He was frozen in time like that for a number of years. And it's just kind of like this romance story about like that and their aging and all this stuff. But it's about the cryogenic frozen thing. So, and like time and all that.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that she's there for Wendy and that she's just really trying to help her and integrate her back into the world and being able to, you know, feel safe and okay. And as well as like having a hold and control of her powers. Yeah. So, because she wants her to talk to Perenna. And that's who helped Jen. So, yeah.
I don't really know what else, you know.
I mean, we knew that Jen was gonna like find out on Gamby's computer about the location and try to go out there and do it herself.
I mean, Tobias has an army.
Yeah.
And
whoop-de-doo! Yeah. And him and like, what's her face? Cutter.
Yeah.
They just weird me out.
Right.
And that freaking guy who brought Lala back, like, he's weird. He's creepy. Trying to freaking bring everything back to life. That was disgusting.
Well, he just wanted, like, I think, like, he can't do creatures.
Yeah.
And so he's just trying to, like, challenge.
He's trying to, yeah.
He's trying to push
like, broaden his horizons.
He's trying to push his power to the limits. He's
yeah.
trying to see, like, you don't master something.
Right.
Like,
it makes sense.
Nothing is ever truly mastered because it's always evolving.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, even if he understands and knows how his powers work, there's always something more to do. Like, it's like when, like, basic humanity. We're not born strong. We gain strength because we use our muscles. And that's what he's doing.
Like, everything takes practice.
Yeah, he's using, like, not muscle, but for the sake of this argument...
He's using his skill and his strength.
For the sake of the argument, we're saying he's using his muscle. His superpower muscle.
Yeah.
Okay? And the only way to make it able to do more or other things, like, for it to be able to lift this much weight or to do this, he has to keep pushing himself. Because you always, you know, like, you always go just that little bit more.
Yeah, the little bit extra.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, trying to bring back animals.
Like push yourself an extra mile. So yeah, I understand why he was doing it. It just was like a big cauldron and it was gross. Literally, it was like a cauldron. That's what I thought of. Yeah. And, you know, and then Nyssa, of course, is still, like, wondering about the Grace thing.
Well, she, like, I mean, like, we found out the eyes mean shapeshifter, which we've been calling for a couple weeks.
Right. Well, I just wasn't sure if it was the right term, because I know that there's, like, skin, like, you know, ones that lose
skin changer.
Yeah, skin changer and shapeshifter. So I didn't know if it was, like...
Well, technically, okay. Well, shapeshifters can change into animals, too. But skin changer changes, like, I mean...
Because they both change form.
Yeah, but skin changers, I think, only do, like, humanoid.
Okay.
And
shapeshifters can change into literally anything.
Yeah.
Like Beast Boy.
Yeah.
Any animal he wants.
Yeah, but he can only do animals. He can't do human.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I hope we'll like at least, because next week is the season finale.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that we at least see something with Grace then, like more, because we didn't really in this episode. But I mean, the whole time with that thing, I was thinking that, especially when she was talking to Gamby, I was like, well, like he said, you know, she might have to just end up telling her that she's Thunder.
Yeah. But what confuses me, okay, the old man is Grace. Grace is the old man.
Mm-hmm.
The old Asian dude.
Yeah.
But he said that the only reason why the old Asian dude, who we know to be Grace, but they don't know that, would need to have a dead animal so he can eat it, is if the old Asian dude, if their true form is actually like
an
wolf
animal
or an animal.
Or a horse.
No, not a horse, because he wouldn't eat his own kind.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it would have to be like a carnivore. Like, probably a wolf or a dog of some sort, or a giant cat.
Or a bear.
I doubt that. The bear wouldn't fit through the door frames.
I'm just throwing it out there.
But, you know.
Yeah, that is a little confusing to me, too, because it's like, I mean, we don't know what her true form is, but
I assume it's Grace.
I assume it's Grace, too. I would assume that she's still human.
And she's a shapeshifter.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Oh, her base form.
Yeah, like her base form.
Yeah, but she's, like, when she's Grace, her body's changing still.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't like to be Grace.
True. I don't know.
So, who or what is she really?
Yeah.
Was she ever Grace? Did Grace actually die?
Yeah.
In the prostitution ring?
I really hope that we learn more about her if she's in season 3, because since we only have one more episode this season, obviously they're only going to be able to talk about a little bit. They're not going to be able to do like a whole backstory thing. But, you know, at least if Nyssa still like is on her hunt to find her, and maybe, you know, we like learn a little bit more about it, then, you know, that'll help. Right. Because, I mean, at this point, we really don't know that much.
I mean, we know that Grace was last seen. I mean, not Grace, her other name. She's been by a couple names.
Yeah.
But we know her as Grace, so Grace. The last time she was officially seen was was in a prostitution ring.
Yeah.
So my question is, did the actual person known as, that we know, like, the form we know as Grace.
Right.
If that's not really her. Like, she saw the person that looks like that die in the prostitution ring, or, like, when the FBI moved in and took the ring,
right?
You know, whatever happened, like if she died in the chaos, then did whoever current Grace is take her form and go under a new name somewhere else as Grace Troy? And so it's like, is she even really Grace? Grace is probably dead. Yeah. But the Grace that we've known from episode whatever in season 1 is the current Grace that's walking around, the shapeshifter, that's not really Grace. I'm confusing myself. There's too many Graces in this whole thing.
But, it's all very confusing.
Yeah. But y'all know what I'm saying. If you guys think that, say so in the comments.
Because, I mean, you know, like Gamby said, if she really loves you, then she'll find a way back to you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I mean, I know Grace probably thinks that Nyssa would reject her if she knew who she truly was. But that's not the case. I don't think, because, Nyssa has her powers too. So I think she would do what she could to help her.
Yeah.
Because she loves her. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was actually a pretty good episode.
Yes, completely. So.
Next week's the season finale!
Yes, I'm happy.
But these episodes have been more bearable lately, though. You haven't had anything really bad to say about Jefferson.
Yeah, he hasn't been a total dick.
He hasn't. He's gotten a lot better.
I have faith that we will return to form next season.
Let's hope so. But I think this last half...
hope not. I mean, I like enjoying the show. I don't like sitting here being pissed off.
Well, that's what I'm like. What do you mean by back to true form? Like where you're ranting about him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no. Because I mean he's like not the whole last half of the season, but I mean, maybe for the last 3 to 4 episodes, he's been okay. Like
ever since they've returned.
Yeah, I mean,
and a little bit before that, but he still had his moments.
Yeah.
But
at least he's not freaking, like, going off on Nyssa anymore. Like, that was really pissing not just her off, but me off, too. Because I'm like, dude, like she said, she a grown-ass woman, and she can make her own choices. Yeah. And she don't need you telling her what she can and can't do, even if she does live in that house.
Well, she doesn't.
So,
because she left when her dad said, "You live under my roof. You live by my rules." She's like, "Okay, bye."
So yeah. But I mean, she still comes over and eats, and they still have their family time.
Yeah, family dinner. They're like Blue Bloods. Family dinner every Sunday night.
I need to watch that show.
So good.
I just have so many things I'm watching already. It's too overwhelming for me right now.
I just watched whatever for the moment.
Yeah. But there's just things that I'm trying to get through that I've been watching for a long time. Like Buffy.
Yeah.
And Angel and stuff. So, like, I want to finish those. But I usually watch that weekly or a couple times a week because, like, we usually choose days when we're available to watch it. So...
that's generally how you watch things.
It's going...
when you're able to.
Yeah. So it's going slowly, but I'm on the last season finally, so... of Buffy, not Angel. Angel, I still have 4 and 5 to watch because I'm on 4 right now. It's good. Buffy,
I imagine it is.
Buffy's better.
Yes.
But Angel does have some good stuff.
No one talk about the season that she's in.
Okay, if you like Cordelia, she has so much more character development on Angel than she ever did on Buffy.
Yeah.
Her character is way better on Angel. So, I'm glad that we get to see that from her character, because I never liked her on Buffy, but I like her on Angel. So,
I didn't mind her on Buffy when she wasn't being a bitch.
I liked her with Xander.
Yes.
Underrated ship, but I liked it.
Even after she left Xander, she still helped the game.
I know everybody loves Xander and Anya, and I liked them, but for me, like, in the early seasons, they were super cute.
They were.
I know that they argued a lot, and you wouldn't think that they would work together, but like...
that's what made them work.
But that's what made them work, yeah.
No, she's with Wesley.
So.
She was.
Yeah, she's not with Wesley on Angel.
She got with Wesley and Buffy. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it was a great show tonight. Gamby will get to Jen eventually next episode with the gloves.
To be continued.
Yeah. It's the first time that happened on the show.
No, it's not.
I mean, like, they've never actually said to be continued.
Oh, I thought they had on, like, another one.
I don't remember ever seeing that.
Maybe not.
Because, like, it's just not something that's really done.
Yeah.
On these shows.
It's true.
Like, you might have a to be continued announcement, like, once every other year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just know it's to be continued because it's
Right.
a storyline. Like, the entire thing is to be continued until series finale.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm excited that Legends is coming back after this is over. Like, it's still there's gonna be a week where it's
hilarious
not on.
thing is that it comes back on April 1st.
It does.
That is a great April Fool's Day.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that makes me happy. That makes me so happy.
Yes. So, Legends is going to finish off its season when it comes back, and you will see us on Mondays for that after Black Lightning is done.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going away.
And I will be much more happy to talk about that.
If I even remember what happened, it's like been off for so long.
The last time we saw them, Warlock dude, effed with time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
because it went off in like when? December?
Mm-hmm.
November?
It went off at the same time everything else did.
Yeah,
and then,
but it's not coming back till April.
Nah, because they moved shows around.
Yeah. It's almost like the long hiatus that Once Upon a Time would always take. Like when it went off in December and it wouldn't come back until March. Like the end of March. Like it literally did that every season. The last half of the season would start in March.
That's because there were two separate storylines. So.
Yeah, but still. It was like the longest break.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And by next week, we'll have an answer for you guys on whether or not we'll be continuing during Black Lightning next season.
You don't want to?
I don't know. I don't know. So we will have an answer for that question next week.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that.
I didn't know you didn't want to do that.
No, once I started having to be a biatch about Jefferson, I just...
You didn't want to do it. You didn't enjoy it.
No. I full on hated doing the reviews.
Yeah. It's understandable.
I couldn't. Like, I enjoyed...
But what about Once Upon a Time? We did Once Upon a Time from season 3 all the way up until the end, and we ranted about Emma practically every time, and we did that for 4 seasons.
That's because they had, like, all of these other people that made the show bearable.
Yeah.
Where this show has 3 people. I have 4, I'm sorry. And sometimes 3 because Jen just pisses me off.
Yeah, she does.
A lot.
Nyssa's the better.
Nyssa is the saving grace of the show.
Yeah, Nyssa and Lynn are literally the best characters on the show.
Gamby is just there.
I mean, I like Gamby.
Yeah, I don't like him.
He's a father figure. He's a mentor. He's helping them with what they're doing. Mm-hmm. He's necessary. He needs to be there. And I don't have anything against Gamby.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Jen makes some pretty messed up decisions.
Obviously messed up after tonight.
Yeah. And I mean, if Jefferson goes off on her, she will have every right for him to go here. She'll deserve to have him do that because she made a very poor choice.
Yeah. And this is the first time he's going to be a daddy that, like, he's going to be full on father, like, yelling at his child, and I'm going to back him up.
Yeah, exactly. Because all the times he was doing it to Nyssa, it wasn't necessary.
No.
But with Jen, she needs that. She's still young. She's a teenager. Like, she's still in high school.
And she don't need to be killing nobody.
I know that she is upset that she lost her boyfriend. Okay? She has a right to be upset about that. She has...
Technically, they weren't even dating anymore.
But still, she loved him. He was her first love. Yeah. Like, they came
that close to doing it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's understandable that she'd be upset.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she's letting this whole thing consume her,
I mean, it's normal,
is causing her to make bad decisions and use bad judgment.
It's completely normal. And if she didn't have powers, you wouldn't have to worry about
I'm not saying it isn't normal.
Well, yeah, no. But I'm just saying, like, isn't, like...
Yeah. But because she has powers, it's going, like, a lot. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot more dangerous because of that. Yeah. And, you know, like Jefferson said, it can lead her to the dark side.
We have cookies.
I knew you would say that. But yeah, I mean, if she tries to take that into her own hands, she's going to get hurt.
Like tonight.
Something bad is going to happen. Somebody that she loves could die or get serious. Or another person she loves could die. Or she could die. Or, you know, something. So she needs to freaking reevaluate and have some sense talked into her. Whether she wants to believe it or agree with it or listen to it is up to her, because she's a teenager and teenagers typically don't listen to what their parents have to say.
Yeah, but they always remember what they say.
Yeah. They just don't like to admit it. No. But yeah, after tonight, maybe she'll learn her lesson. Maybe. I'm not saying she will. I'm just saying maybe.
The second that she's finished. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah. But I mean, we know how much you guys wanted, or at least a couple people wanted us to do Black Lightning. So we did it because you guys wanted us to. Yeah. But like she said, it will all come down to the season finale. Yeah. And we will still watch season 3.
Yes.
We just might not review it. Yeah. But we'll let you know for sure.
And it is subject to change if we realize the next season is good.
Yeah.
Then we might change next season and be like, you know what? The season's going okay, let's continue.
Yeah, because I mean, even though we like are going into it with really not much backstory or not much else to like really go off of except the episodes, other than the fact that there's been ranting about a character, like I've still somewhat enjoyed talking about it and at least kind of getting to know like the show and the characters and finding those things out. So I mean, yeah, it could always change. Yeah. And
like I've enjoyed watching the show. I do think that if I didn't have to review it, I wouldn't have had so much as much of an issue. Because
she would just rant to me about it instead of to everybody else on YouTube. Right.
Or like I wouldn't have really paid that much attention to what he was doing and how he was doing it.
Right.
Because it's just a show and I shouldn't be that worked up over a character.
But TV shows become our livelihood and we tend to live vicariously through TV characters. And so we connect with them usually, and even if it is just a TV show.
I just, like, I pay more attention to stuff, like, to how characters do things, and that things should be shown and not told, or told and not shown in these instances, because I do YouTube with you guys. Right. And if I'm going to review a show for you guys, then I'm going to do my best to review it.
Yeah,
and that means I'm going to pay strict attention to every character and how things play out.
Right.
And that means that I notice when Jefferson's being a dick.
Well, I mean, it's pretty hard not to notice it, even if you aren't reviewing the show.
Yeah, but I notice it a lot more, and when he's only being a dick very lightly, I wouldn't have noticed.
But I mean, even like if we weren't reviewing it, like when he was going off on his daughter, we still would have talked amongst each other.
Yeah, you would have gotten like a bajillion texts, be like, "This biatch got to go,"
and been like, "No." Let's talk.
I know he's a titular character, but he's got to go.
Oh, there's been not plenty, but there's been a couple TV shows where I have hated the main character.
Yes, but this is a show that's named after the main character.
Well, Dawson's Creek was named after the main character, too, and I did not like Dawson Leary. So, there you go. And I'm not the only one.
Probably not.
So.
But yeah,
Fun fact, his dad is Henry Allen on The Flash. or the actor who played Dawson's dad is Henry.
Right. So that's everything current and upcoming in the future. Mm-hmm. So I suppose
until next time, family is what you make it.